Every single day, thousands of traders lose money. They give up on their dreams, they go back to their 9 to 5, and they forget about trading. But you won't. You're different. See, trading is not for the faint of heart. It's a wild ride. There will be times where you feel like you've got it all figured out. The markets are predictable. You can make money hand over fist. And then there will be other times where you question everything. You feel like you're just throwing money down the drain. You start to doubt yourself. But here's the thing. Embrace the uncertainty. Stay focused on the possibilities. Trust that you can navigate the ever-changing currents of the market. With resilience and perseverance, every single trade becomes an opportunity to carve your path to success. Don't give up. Keep going. Hello, traders. All right, so today I want to talk about when you are ready for a trader. There comes a moment in a trader's evolution when they VA tried everything else, and they VA looked around. They've tried to get the best methodology, the best teachers, the best system. And finally they begin to stare into the mirror, and they look at themselves and go, oh my God, I'm the problem. Problem's not out there. Everybody knows that trading is about probability and uncertainty and managing that risk. But it's different knowledge when you actually put to the test you. That's real capital that you're putting to the test into your primitive caveman brain. That's not capital. He doesn't know what capital is. What that is life and death. If you take a loss to that caveman brain, oh my God, you have to fight for your life. Are you going to be consumed? So you begin to see that, the mind that I brought to trading is not going to be the mind that produces success in trading. And that doesn't mean it's not a good mind. It may have been incredibly successful in another domain, but coming to trading, it's completely different. The needs of the trading mind are vastly different than the mind that I brought to trading. You can't dominate, okay? You can't will yourself into winning. It's kind of like this. It's the difference between an African lion, the way they hunt, and a North American cougar. The African lion stalks, chases, and by the way, takes heavy losses of capital, bodies, but they have a breeding program that brings that forward. They take those losses, they can do it. They're a very successful apex predator on the African savanna. They're built for that. However, if you took that same highly successful lion and put him into the forest of North America, it's starved. Yet the American cougar is built for those forests, doesn't hunt by stalking, by chasing at ambushes. It climbs a tree, 15, 20 feet up, sits out on the limb, and waits patiently for the setup. That setup is a deer that has defined patterns in what it's going to do. It's going to sit there patiently and wait, and then it goes straight down on it. The deer never sees it. Hopefully the neck is broken and the deer doesn't get up. However, if it gets up and chases runs, the cougar doesn't chase. It takes it as a loss, a small one. Trust that the pattern, the habits are going to remain the same. Setup goes back up. The tree gets on the limb, waits patiently. Two very successful apex predators. Most of us want to be there, the lion. Problem is, if you want to be a trader, you're going to have to let that go. You're going to have to recognize that the conditions of success in trading are vastly different than the conditions of most of other life. We bring that successful mind from other domains into trading, and it collapses. And what really has to happen here is you have to come to the moment of where you're willing to face that fear. Instead of like blaming others, finding something's wrong. No, the only thing that's wrong isn't here. And it's not like you're wrong like a flaw. No, you have been adapted by your brain for success in a different way. And now you're going to have to readapt it. But to do that, you've have to look at what every survival instinct in you is gone, have you avoid. It's going to have you go, forget that. That's too hard. Instead of avoiding it, you're going to have to master it. You're going to have to look at what you fear. Instead of avoiding it, you're going to have to look at it. Why do you fear it? Fear is based on the story you tell yourself about the danger, the harm, the pain, the consequence of the situation. And then you can say, is that true? And if it is, how much of that is imagined and how much of that is real? How much of that is fantasy? How much of that is future projection because of past experience, but not actual reality? Then you begin to realize that you have been taught to avoid that which you presuppose to master. And the closer you get to mastering that, the more you begin to see clearly and you go, huh, that's a pattern. That's interesting. I've been running from that my entire life. All of these things that I avoided in life, trading says, hey, you have to own up to them and you have to master them. And you have to put them into a place that they stop being a trigger and become a guide. So the answer is within you. You have to decide if you're going to do the work. Because ultimately, if you're just a victim of circumstance and blame everybody else and blame your circumstances, trading will humble you. Trading will bust you out. You'll go flat broke because trading, you have to show up every single day. You have to be willing to lose every single day, and you have to be willing to win every single day. You cannot be passive. Trading's not some magical fairy dust that's going to change your life. It's the most active, it's the most participatory activity you can ever participate in. It requires the greatest amount of self-mastery. It requires the greatest amount of discipline. And it's the most direct path to freedom that I know of. So do you want that? If you do, then you're going to have to start looking inside. The person who's asking the question, when am I ready to be a trader? You got to ask yourself that question. You got to start exploring that. The more you do, the more you're going to realize you're not ready, but you're getting closer. But you can't be passive about it. You have to be actively engaged. You have to be seeking the truth about yourself. You have to be confronting the shadow parts of yourself. You have to be acknowledging what you've been running from your whole life. And if you're honest about that, you'll begin to see that there's an inner warrior inside of you, that S wanting to come out and be reckoned with. When you're ready to be a trader, you're going to feel that deep within you. So the question, when am I ready to be a trader? It's not an external question. It's an internal question. It's an internal dialogue that you have to have with yourself. And then you have to take the responsibility for the answer. And that's the moment when you begin to see the distance. You begin to see that everything that you have believed about success, you have to let go. Everything that you have believed about failure, you have to let go. And you have to begin to see the objective truth. And that's the moment when you can begin to look at the data and you can begin to see it more objectively. That's the moment when you can look at your reactions and you can say, huh, those were triggered by what and how was that created? And then you can begin to explore and unravel the beliefs that are behind that. And that's the journey. I'll tell you what, when you're ready to embark on that journey, the world is yours. You can succeed at anything you desire. Anything you desire, you can achieve. If you want to be an Olympian, you can be an Olympian. If you want to be a musician, you can be a musician. If you want to be a trader, you can be a trader. You name it, you can be it. Because the power that you unleash within yourself, it's like a tsunami. If you put yourself in the path of that tsunami, you're going to get absolutely smashed. So we teach people how to survive that tsunami, how to surf that tsunami, and how to harness that tsunami. Because you can do it. You know why? You're a human being. You have the capacity for self-awareness. You have the capacity to reflect and to shape your own mind and to shape your own actions. That's why. But you have to take responsibility for that. It's not out there somewhere. It's not in a book. It's not in a course. It's in you. You have to dig it out. And when you do, you're going to find the most successful mind that you're capable of creating. It's already in you. It's like pulling it out. Sculptor pulls out the statue, and it was always there. It was just covered in marble. Yes. Got to get that marble chipped away and you re-gone. Now find out that you are a masterpiece. You're a beautiful piece of art. You're a wonderful creation. And trading will help you get that realized. That's what we do. We help people get that realized. So we have a place that we go. Our name is encrypted in the video. Find us. Come check us out. Bring you where you're at and take you where you want to go. We'll see you soon.